My Lords, can I first of all thank my noble friend the Minister, who has put an inordinate amount of effort into discussing concerns about this bill with those of us who have concerns, and bringing it now, congratulating him. I should congratulate him on becoming a grandfather, apparently, but also on landing this bill as he does today. But it remains, my Lords, a very bad bill. And I just think it's worth repeating why. It's not because it makes a huge administrative reorganisation. In this House, we take huge administrative reorganisations in our stride. We have been reorganising the National Health Service over the last few weeks, and that must be possibly the largest organisation in the world, certainly in Europe. The government's defence of the measure is that essentially it is administratively very, very minor. It just sets up a committee, it's an advisory committee, and the government ministers, that is, will make final decisions. There's nothing to see here, move on. But the important part of this bill is not its administrative effects, but the fact that it is a declaratory bill. It declares something in British law, in the law of the United Kingdom, for the first time to be true, and that is that animals, vertebrates and certain non-vertebrates, are sentient. I know this appeared previously in a treaty that we were party to, but moving it on, it moves it on a considerable step to incorporate it into domestic law in this way. So it's worth asking why that declaration matters. It matters because it is very much part of the agenda of the animal rights movement to achieve three things, really, to achieve agreement on three things. The first is that animals are sentient. The second is that sentience is the sole basis of judging moral conduct. And the third is, therefore, as a consequence of that, that humans and animals are to be treated on the same basis in moral terms. Now, that is a complete upturning of our established view of moral conduct. It is a completely new anthropology. And this bill, therefore, is really profoundly anti-human. It opens the door to a moral calculus in which people can ask the question, how much suffering, how much chimpanzee suffering is equivalent to a human baby suffering? And that's why it remains a very bad bill. It is a bill that we will come to regret.